Oh,
Hello, you guys, and welcome to Moments of Mayhem. So we
can't
changed
even see
the
my hand. It was
title.
all.
We have changed the title. We have changed our description. We're just going to talk about moments of mayhem, things that just kind of go over your head sometimes. Like, why are people doing these things? And the thing that I wanted to talk about today is this documentary. Um, there's a documentary on Netflix. If you have not heard about it, let me tell you a little bit about this
Do
documentary.
tell, do tell.
So, with this documentary, it is regarding the well being of a disabled man. Now, he's a fully grown man when this occurred. Like, he was 30 years old at the time. So, brother man,
Nonverbal,
yeah, nonverbal.
CP, cerebral palsy, which means he doesn't have full functioning capability to walk and do certain things. He needs some help.
Yes, full on help, right? 24 hours a day, he needs assistance. So, um, in this story, because it's definitely a story, I would say it's definitely a story. Um, the young man was assisted, right? He was assisted by a professor. His brother was going to school. His brother was earning a PhD, I guess, in psychology. Yeah. And he wanted to assist his brother in some kind of way. And he was taking a course with this professor, and the professor was stating um, things, how she's helping disabled people with aphasia, which is the lack of ability to speak, right? Um, that he wanted to seek assistance, talk to this professor, figure out how this could help his brother. So the professor is like, hey, yeah, I will talk to your brother. I will come and I will help your brother with this computer type thing, right? It's a computer thing that allows people with aphasia or difficulty speaking or difficulty expressing, I guess, themselves fully. They can type out what they're trying to say. So it's called a facilitated communication.
Right.
Right. Facilitated communication. With this facilitated communication, the professor in this story is indicating that she, helped this young man, guided him, and he just like all of a sudden his intelligence came to life. He was fully functioning. He was going out into the world with her, right? With the professor. They were going on different outings. They were doing different things. And
he was thriving.
He was, yeah, technically
according to her,
thriving in the normal functioning world or society as, a regular functioning person without any disabilities or restraints on their mental capacity. So when you're in a position of power, and I'm going to use the word power here because she has her full mental capabilities. She's an educator. She's an adjunct professor at Rutgers. So the broad ain't dumb. She's not. Maybe she got some screws loose somewhere past her medulla oblongata or some shit like that. I don't know. But when you are a person who is in a position of power or a position of authority or in a position of aiding someone, right? When you're offering help, you're rendering aid to someone. Generally, those people do not take advantage of their position. They don't take advantage of the person in aid.
Right.
Generally. Okay, because there are instances where motherfuckers do go left and they do some shit that they ain't got no business doing.
But the way she set it up, she grew up in a household where her mom was an educator of disabled people.
Now she wasn't an educator. She just helped out disabled people. Disabled people were always in their home. It was always someone with some disability that the mother was helping and assisting. So the professor grew up in this environment. So she gravitated to that. That became her field of study.
They said she wanted crutches so she could act like she had polio.
Yeah, when she was the little kid,
her mom taught her wanted how to use Braille so she could have blind pen pals.
Yeah, they covered her eyes with a cloth for a day, and she walked around the house as if she was blind. These are things that this young lady stated that occurred in her youth by her own admission. If you watch the documentary, it's by her own admission. Okay, so this drives her passion to help the disabled, right? So now she's a professor at Rutgers University in New Jersey, and her class is centered around communications. And she's talking about how she's helping people with aphasia and other forms of limited speech to communicate their wants, their desires, to even aspire in education if they so choose to. So they flip the scene to this young lady who has nothing to do with the story, but they try to bridge the facilitated communication as if this young man was in the same position as this young lady who successfully went to school, successfully earned a dual degree with the aid of facilitated communication, right? Totally not the same thing. The girl who they showed the video of, this little chick could walk. She could kind of sort of talk. She kind of got like a little anger problem where she can't communicate when she's agitated or overwhelmed maybe. But she is not nowhere near the level of disability as this young man in question. The young man in question cannot speak. He could barely walk for himself. As his brother says in the documentary, he trails off and he'll do the Stevie Wonder thing, right? So the brother approaches this young lady after class one day. He addresses her, tells the young lady about his position with his brother and how his brother has the issue, right? So she goes in. Like we said earlier, she's in full agreement. She's like, I will help him myself. Now, she states in the documentary they couldn't go to Stanford. Was it No, not Stanford. Syracuse?
Yeah, I think so. It was
because the price was too expensive. It was too much. They couldn't go to Syracuse for the treatment. So she would do it herself. Now she's in this field. This is what she does. Like, she's pioneering with this shit, the facilitated communication. However, in the process of her teaching him or showing him how to utilize the little computer setup for facilitated communication, in that process, they start a romantic relationship. Now, this is why I wanted to talk about this, because the young lady stated that it was consensual. His mother and brother say otherwise. Now, why this is so compelling to me and why this is so thought-provoking is because with facilitated communication, give me your hand, Ka. This is basically what the young lady did. She put her hand on top of his and went to the keyboard and typed out what either she presumed he wanted to say.
Because all this is being recorded.
Right. All of this
everything
is
on the FC. It keeps track of the whole text thread or whatever they want to communicate.
But the young man cannot speak. So for you to assume what he wants to type and not allow the young man to type, just like you could have guided him, I guess, in this kind of way, you know what I mean? And let him dangle his fingers and touch the keys that he wanted to touch. But that was not how it was illustrated. It was illustrated as this. So the mother and the brother are amazed at his progress, at his growth, at the fact that he's communicating with this young lady.
Like he doesn't showcase that around the mother or the brother.
No, he's not bringing that forth. When mom and brother go in, when the lady not around to do the facilitated communication, and they doing that with brother, brother is just pressing like A's, just hitting the A and just holding on to the A like, ah. He's not typing out sentences. Brother not even typing out the fucking words. He's not even typing out a word. He's not spelling he's not spelling out nothing. According to mother and brother. Now, mother and brother, they know this young man. They've been with him his whole life. This is his older brother and his mother, right? So, mom overhears a conversation between, I think she overhears it, where the son in question, who's an adult when this goes down, but the son in question and the facilitator, that's the appropriate way to refer to her, we're talking, and he and her were talking about a relationship, and she started pushing for this young man to move out of his mother's home, away from his mother, away from protection,
like that.
away from everything that he has known, away from his caretakers, like, the people that love him and have guided and protected him his entire life.
But the lady's married, though.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention that. Thank you, cuz. The bitch is married.
With kids.
With 2 kids at the time. This happened in 2011, dude. So this is 13 years down the line. But yeah, she was married. She's no longer married to him, but she was married at the time. 2 kids. She was like, I'm gonna go and I don't want to say that because I don't know if she did that, but I'm gonna go suck this. I'm about to go bend it over and make it clap for CP. He can't even clap for me, but I'm gonna make it clap.
I told the mom that she was gonna leave her husband and take care of this man.
For him. So see, earlier I mentioned her mental capabilities, like maybe she's a little throat, because she stated that they had a physical connection, they had a physical attraction, they had, like, they bonded, they bonded. Like, she knew him, he knew her, she felt this like Cupid and shot that bitch in the heart type of shit. That's a good question. How? Because
he can't talk, and if you're making him say stuff with his hands, and he can't really fight you off of him. He can't really be like, no, stop.
So on 2 occasions, because she did admit to the mother on a recorded call.
We made love
on 2 occasions.
in her house, in the mama house.
No. It
She
was
took
at
him
the
somewhere?
office. It was at her office.
No, the first time I thought was at the house.
I didn't hear that part.
Yeah,
I thought
he
it was
at
just at the office.
church.
No.
church.
The thing. Okay, so look. She came in, right. See,
She wasn't paying attention.
I was paying. Well, I was, but I was talking
The
to.
mama was at church.
She tried to change this dude's whole everything. Change the stuff that he ate. Tried to make him a vegetarian. Tried to take the things that he liked to drink out the window. Turned him from listening to gospel music, and maybe I'm gonna throw this as a little wedge there. Maybe he didn't like gospel music and didn't have a way to say it because maybe that's just what the mother listened to all the time. So maybe who knows? Because they were on their way to church one Sunday, and she turns the station in the mother's car from gospel music to classical music. And she makes the statement that the young man likes classical music, not gospel music. So both the mother and the older brother got upset about this. Like, how you gonna tell us what he liked?
Yeah, changed everything around.
Started
Tried to
changing
say that
everything.
he drinks wine and all this.
It was like he don't know nothing about no Ripple. Like, just started really. I don't know. I don't know. But she came through like a wrecking ball. She was Miley Cyrus on that nigga one time. Like, just how you do that to somebody's child. A disabled person at that. He's disabled. He cannot speak. The brother could barely.
She did get him to go to that college class though.
With her.
I know, but then he got mad at her because she spoke for him and that's not what he wanted to say. That's what started making me feel like she was doing stuff.
Like she was controlling it.
Right, and he didn't like it. She said that's
saying.
The only time he was pissed at her. She used that verbiage. How you in the African like the lady was
I'm just the shit is appalling. First of all, you're having a sexual relationship. Let's take the cerebral palsy out the picture. Okay, let's just say he had a mental capacity, because they say the man has a mental capacity of a 6-month to a 9-month-old, of a toddler.
Oh, I didn't hear that part.
Of a toddler. So let's take the cerebral palsy off the table. He could have full motor function, but he has the mental capability of a 6 to 9-month-old. Full abuse, if you ask me. That she fully abused this young man. She abused her position and her authority over this young man. She abused the trust of the mother and the older brother that reached out to her for assistance. If you ask me, this man could not say, hey, no, back up. Because if she is fondling him and doing things with him at this time, he doesn't have his facilitated communication device. Right. So even if he was able to communicate on his own, right now it's not in his hand. He cannot physically by himself get up to go and get it. His mother and brother help him up on a daily basis.
They gave him a shower, everything.
They got to feed him, clothe him, everything on a daily basis. And this woman was like, give it to me. Give me that stuff, that funk, that sweet, that funk. Give it to me. She Rick James that nigga. She put her feet on his mama couch and said, fuck your couch.
But she went to jail though.
She did go to jail. She did. She got 2 counts that they found her guilty of. Both counts, they gave her 12 years for each count. And it was supposed to be served consecutively. However, she appealed it. And 2 years after her conviction, she was released because they utilized evidence from the facilitated communicator in her appeal. So whatever they read convinced them enough.
But she typed it.
But that's the whole thing. This
They
woman
can't prove it if she really typed it because both of their DNA is going to be on
the keyboard on just
because you go back and forth basically texting. It's like a computer. He
but
does it, she does it. But that's why what her defense was. That's what her lawyer is saying. But if they look at how he wrote things and how she wrote things, it's going to be 2 different things.
The mother said that wasn't nowhere near his speech pattern. The only thing that this motherfucker says is "ee,"
right,
or
or he tries to say his brother's name.
That's it. This man can't spell. But
they were saying that he wrote papers in the class. Remember, they had the other worker.
But she also said that she does not know. The other teacher who they interviewed and we only heard her voice, she said that that's the tricky thing about it. She cannot say for sure if it was his thoughts
or the
lady imprinting what she wanted for him to say. Because her hand is on top of his dictating where he's gonna strike on the keyboard.
Well, thank God they didn't let him go to like an independent living, or they didn't get married and she had full control over him for everything.
Oh my God. And she had sex with this young man twice.
I thought it was once.
No, twice. She said it was on 2 occasions.
But it was one of the ones that I saw. She was at the mom's house. And the mom was like, do you mind sitting with him? We're going to go to church.
Well, I know for sure once one was in the office, they went and took pictures of her office and all kinds of shit. Yeah. Yeah. She was like, yeah, we just grabbed a towel and a yoga mat and I put it down in my office. I would call her a pedophile, but she's a...
But they were both already grown.
They need to come up with a word for people that abuse the disabled in that way.
It's just abuse, I guess.
Disabled file.
That just made me sad.
I'll whip a bitch ass. She touched my godson like that. I'll drag her by her forehead.
You just can't leave anybody alone. But maybe because of this instance, because when I do take my son for stuff like that, they're always like, I have to be present. I would be present anyway. I wouldn't give them a choice. I would have been there anyway. But they're always like, the parent has to be there.
Right. And rightfully so. Because shit like this, but I guess a parent didn't have to be around because this nigga grown. But he got the capacity.
Well, he's over 18.
No, I'm talking about this nigga.
I know, but I'm saying, like, he could say, all right, I don't want my mom to be here.
Yeah, Pootie would be like, bitch, dude. Pootie would be like, get the fuck away from me. Mom. Pootie will put a bitch in her place and look like, no. We ain't got to worry about that with the Loke. We ain't got to worry about that with him. He is.
Well, because he could talk.
That nigga is 10 toes down. He got it. He good. He like, bitch, don't fuck with me.
He said, no girlfriend, no wife, no pregnant.
No, none of that.
In that order.
No, none of that. No, none of that. And that nigga's a Too Short fan, so he's quick to be like, bitch. So leave him alone. Don't come at my baby with none of them shenanigans. Because young lady, whoever you are. I can't remember your
But
last
she
name.
suckered him in the family
The-
because
yeah.
he had never done anything like that before. He was in a special day class where
This man ain't never did nothing.
she made him a whole personality of what she would like.
Him to be.
Right. So she fell in love
This
with her.
bitch said
She
she
fell in love with
loves.
herself.
She said, "I love the intellectual man," and he is an intellectual man. Is he really? When all doctors and specialists who are in this field who have tested this man his 30 plus years of life has indicated that he has the mental capacity of a 6 to 9 month old. Now I got 2 kids. I got nieces and nephews, and when they was 6 to 9 months, only thing they did, she was like,
Eat, sleep, shit.
and that was it.
Maybe roll around.
And drool like,
They could roll over. They could sit up.
Not if they real big though. Not if they like Oompa Loompa babies. They just gonna tilt over and fall. But that's what this man's mental capacity is. Like he's not. I could just imagine when she put her titties in his face and he just and make it clap.
But it's just like these teachers that be doing stuff to the students.
But this young man is disabled, like fully. Half the time, them little teenagers who the teachers be fucking with the teachers. Them little bitches be hot. Them little niggas be, feeling they little testosterone.
But then they tell everybody and they get caught.
That's how they get caught, because they be like, ooh, ooh, ooh. I ain't gonna say no names, but we had some teachers in high school that was,
It was with the shits.
That was with the shits. Them niggas, they was in that motherfucker.
That lady wanted to get caught. I'm surprised she never got caught.
Yeah, she was doing a lot, letting niggas drive her car everywhere, and she was doing a lot. We ain't gonna say no names, bitch, but you know who you are. If you ever watch this, you know who you are. Apple Valley High School.
Dang, you giving up so much information.
I just said Apple Valley High School. Only people who gonna know what you talk about is motherfuckers that went to Apple Valley High School. But she know who she is from Apple Valley High School. You definitely know who you are. Stop abusing your positions of power, people. Keep your hands, your dinglings, and your legs closed to your motherfucking self. Leave people alone. There's no way. I'm with the mama and the brother. There's no way he could have gave her consent. There's no way. That motherfucker didn't type none of that shit. Whatever you was going through in your marriage with your man, you should have resolved that shit with your man instead of taking your frustrations out on this man. Because now his world is shattered, the mother's world is shattered, the brother's world is shattered. They not looking to have nobody come in and help them
ever
with
again.
him
And now
anymore.
it's just gonna be them too, taking care of him.
Anymore. Ain't nobody. What?
What got me was when she was saying, "Oh, I want to be in love," like making him like he was saying that. I want to be able to experience.
No,
it.
when they went to the
People
class
like
and they
me.
were asking him questions, and they asked him, "Do you yourself feel like you will ever find love?" And he was like, "Love's not meant for a person like me. We don't deserve or we don't get love." And she was staring off to the side like, "I'll love you."
But did he really type that then? We don't know.
Nobody knows. They need to have, I don't know, but I'm mind blown behind this shit. I am totally mind blown behind this shit. There has to be other people who saw this documentary just wondering, tell them why you love me. What is this about? And then you watch it and you're like, what the fuck? Now let that have been a WT person
WC
or a YT person. however they abbreviate that shit.
I'm dead.
that was done too.
I fell out the screen. You can only see my arm.
That person, whoever did that shit, would be under the fucking jail. But maybe that's just.
I'm surprised something happened to her because of that.
But I think because he was a person of.
Right. And then they let her out.
They didn't take that shit too seriously. But the judge, the first judge,
she wasn't playing.
She was not with that shit. You seen it in her face. She was mad as fuck. Like, I can't believe I'm trying this case. I can't believe this case is in front of me. Send that bitch to jail.
Did they get a restraining order against her?
Yeah, she can't go around her. But the judge was more than happy to bang that gavel.
Lifetime restraining order.
I don't know if it's lifetime or what, but yeah. And now she's all sad because she can't live her life. She has to work from home and take little side gigs and do stuff like that. She can't be out in the public. Why not, bitch? Because motherfuckers is like, something is wrong with you.
Did they talk to her mom after that? Like, did the mom?
The mom was like, she's always been innocent to me. I know she didn't do it, and she wasn't malicious, and she left him. So to me, the mama had a thing with a disabled person back in the day too,
and she probably saw it and felt like it was cool.
I have taken care of many of the people. I have taken care of the elderly. I have taken care of children. Never once, and I've had an elderly man penis get hard when I was doing.
Sorry guys, I'm gonna disappear from time to time. I wore a white shirt and I'm laughing, so.
And never once. And I'm a nympho, but I'm a nympho to my man. You feel what I'm saying? If I'm, you are
sharing a lot.
I'm just saying, never once in the midst of me giving this man a sponge bath, and his Peter rolls up and was like, "Hey, how you doing?" Never once did I look and I was like, "Oh, let me." To abuse your position.
Freaky ass nigga, you a freaky ass.
Freaky ass nigga, use a 69. Freaky ass nigga, use a 69. Hey, rough on your life. Because they're not like us. And they everywhere. They like roaches. Motherfuckers that do this kind of shit, they every fucking where.
We just want to raise awareness so that you guys.
Awareness media, you got to be aware. Like that one dude who got interviewed back in the day. Oh, I feel like he was in Alabama. He was like, watch your kids, watch your wives, watch your husbands. Like, watch him. What the fuck? She totally molested. I was about to say an elderly person, a disabled person.
Elderly people need love too, but not from
not
from
like that.
Aid. Not from your aid.
Not like that. No. No. I can't for the life of me. This has to be a water cooler conversation. Like, people need to be talking about this. Because if we don't talk about this,
it just released. So I'm sure like
it's gonna happen again. Somebody else's disabled brother, cousin, auntie, sister, somebody else gonna get done up. And it's gonna be a bad situation. They're gonna be like, oh, we was just trying to help them, the family. No, nigga. No. Because everybody got somebody in their family that is disabled or something along that line or mentally off that actually can get hooked up. Motherfuckers be trying to hook them up all the time. So it's never you know what I'm saying? It's never nothing like that. We'll help that motherfucker get the pussy, or we'll help that bitch get bent over if that's what they want to do. It's not a problem. But for someone to come in on, so I'm here to help. Hi, jolly old Roger Rennie. So how many other motherfuckers she didn't help with a facilitated communicator that she facilitated.
The possibilities are endless. That's why she's working from home now. Everything is telehealth. Everything is
That's why she
telehealth
working from home now.
because they don't want to risk it.
Facilitate yourself, bitch.
And then,
Oh,
is that on her record? Like, does it show?
so when they did the appeal, she had to agree to a lesser charge. So the lesser charge was like it wasn't like a sexual charge, like sexual abuse or nothing like that. It was just assault, like a misdemeanor assault.
Harassment
Yeah,
or something?
some stupid shit, and they let this bitch go. And she got her little red hatchback.
Why do you know what kind of car she has?
Because I watched the whole thing. You didn't
All
watch the whole thing. I watched the whole thing.
I didn't watch the last 30 minutes. I watched it later.
But my heart goes out to the
I
mom.
was like, this is a documentary. I'm gonna kill this
I
motherfucker.
told you it was a documentary. I was like, I need you to watch this because
I have ADHD.
my mom. I was so confused after
And then
watching.
some people that was on the documentary, they can't even talk, so you gotta read subtitles and shit like that. If I gotta read while I'm watching some shit,
I told Frank, I said that's because when she like 70 or some amateur, because she looked like you, just
the one with the
older.
curly hair, fuck you, bitch.
Wait, is she
wasn't even black. She was Latina,
but she was fucked up. She was
but she
talking.
could talk though.
But yeah, but she could talk. That's the thing. She could talk. The other girl who went to college using the facilitated communicator can talk.
She had a
She
degree.
just had difficulty talking. This young man has aphasia without speech. That is what aphasia means. Look it up. Without speech. And it's totally mind blown. Keep your hands to yourself, people.
Watch it, guys.
Your hands, your tongues, your anals, your holes, your peters, your peckers, whatever the fuck it
If you
is.
feel like reading, watch it.
If you feel like reading, watch it. Yeah, they did have subtitles like a motherfucker. I was trying to listen to her, specifically her.
No, I was glad they had it for her.
But I was trying
'Cause
to
I
listen
couldn't.
without reading the subtitles for her, and I was like, I could do it. But I'm sorry, because what kept fucking me off was the fact that I was like,
She doesn't look like me.
well, you get old.
I am old now.
At least he hit that. Well,
Who said that?
this nigga right here.
We don't even know if that's what he wanted.
But even if he
men don't want to be raped.
Okay, but look, all bullshit aside, right? Even if he did hit that, right? The lasting effects of what that encounter did to him, and he ain't had no encounter like that no more.
And his mama making sure it ain't gonna happen again ever.
Just imagine the psychological.
We will never know.
That nigga fucked up even worse now.
But she was like, he's a grown man. In age.
In age, he's grown. But mentally, he is not. So that cancels the age out right there.
How dare you?
That cancels it.
Hit that.
That cancels it. The fact that his mental capacity is not there cancels his age out the door. His age is a non-factor. Non-factor. She diddy that nigga.
Stop it. So you guys watch it and make sure you comment.
Ooh.
Better to hit than I've never had a hit at all. He didn't know what to compare it to. If that's not
what the mama said. That's what his mama said.
If it's not introduced in your life, you don't know.
He never knew. He never knew. And now that he knows,
because I never.
It's a whole nother fucking ball game.
Like this before.
This nigga is like trying to reach his penis now.
They did not say that.
No, I'm just imagining because he didn't know. But if you didn't know, and now you know, nigga, that kind of shit. And now that he knows, he's like, and he can't fully move his body like that. His arms, and he trying to. I feel sorry for the boy, the man. Sorry, the man. I feel sorry for the man because the implications of that interaction with that professor is long standing. And because he can't verbalize, because he cannot communicate, the frustration, like it's so much that comes from that now.
Right.
That he didn't have to worry about prior to this experience. People are horrible, man.
I think they should have let them rock out. No, because if they would have married, the mom would have never been able to get control of him again. And it doesn't even sound like she had.
I don't even think it's about.
If she had conservatorship, because it's like he can't do anything. That's just her baby.
That's what she said. That's my baby. He's 40 now.
Everybody's somebody's baby. They don't think about that.
Man, when they showed old boy at the end, see, okay, so because you didn't fully complete it.
Now you're making me feel bad.
Yeah, because I want you to go home and watch the rest of it. When they showed him at the end.
No, because you already told me.
I was pissed off. I went from confused to being pissed off. Like, no, I'm explaining to Frank, like, no, this bitch was forcing this nigga finger. Because you don't correlate the two. Because like I told you, they had me feeling like he was kind of like Pootie.
I would have had video cameras everywhere.
Like he was functioning, but not functioning. You feel what I'm saying? And then when they showed this nigga and the brother is helping him up and helping him walk, and this motherfucker just standing there and he moving one arm kind of slow and he kind of looking off to the side and he just standing there, but he not doing, he just standing there. Fully incapacitated. Not able to do a motherfucking thing. The mama said, "You gonna be all right?" He kind of moved his head, and she said, "All right," and went back in the house. The mother knows her son so well, she know he gonna be all right just standing there on the porch. But that's not the point I'm making. The point I'm making is this motherfucker, that man had no way to give consent.
So watch it.
And I got special people. I know special people. He wasn't able to get no damn consent. Somebody ought to whip her with a monkey tree or a monkey branch or something. Whip that bitch ass. She need an ass whipping. And that's something that her white ass mama and white ass daddy didn't do. They didn't whip her ass. She need an ass whipping.
I'm surprised she was able to be free in jail. Nobody like messed her up or nothing. Like she made it home.
Her children should disown her and not talk to her no more. Like, how do you...
Yeah.
Did she love him? No. You can't help who you... Did she love him? I think she wanted to see what that black was like. And that was the only black that she was close enough to see.
Well, she was terrible. When you see it, you'll see.
I'm going to put it that way. That's what I think. Because the brother wasn't going to fuck with her. It's so much that I think about this shit. I can sit here and discuss this for a minute. It's so much, like my mind travels with this kind of shit. This lady is fucking twisted. We don't know what she did to that boy. Or who she had doing something to that boy. Because he can't say shit. It may not have even been her. What if it was somebody else? What if it was other people?
If she started like pimping them out.
She had a whole way of working with dude.
We don't know for sure though.
I guess. Yes. I seen something today or heard something today where the man was like, he had to ask a woman, you know, because he's tired of women saying that, they love sex as much as men do. And he was like, oh yeah, do you really? Would you kill for it?
No.
He's like, no.
It's not that
You
serious.
wouldn't kill for the dick.
It's way
You'd be like,
easier
I
for
gotta go to
women
work.
to get sex whenever than men.
I gotta go to work. I ain't worried about that shit. I don't think she loved this young man. Maybe she had that kind of what's that syndrome? Stockholm syndrome type of shit.
She had a dude that worked fine.
She did. She was married. That's what I said earlier. Whatever problem she had with her husband, she should have worked that out with her husband instead of attacking. And I'm gonna use that word attack because this man is disabled. He couldn't, like you said, fend her off. He doesn't have the ability to. So
that's almost, I would say what she did is similar to being with somebody in a coma.
Narcolepsy and shit. Fucking with a dead
He
body.
said a whole husband.
A whole husband. Yeah, she had a whole husband.
Well, y'all watch it and y'all let us know.
Yeah, let us know what you think, please. Because I need somebody else that's on my level with this shit. Like, bitch, what? You going to hell. They got a special place called hell for people like that. She's going to hell in a handbasket with gasoline drawers on.
She don't care. She's going to wear black Timbs.
Like, I rock with you.
All right, y'all.
They're going to be playing the kissing game and shit. The kissing game.
All right, we're playing around now.
Yeah, we're being silly right now. But yeah, watch this. It's on Netflix documentary. Tell them
Comment below.
you love me. It was a good time. It was nice being back. I missed my time with my cousin. Have a good one. Stay aware of your surroundings and the people in your life. Have a good night, y'all.